Okay, roll call.
Mr. Jackson?
Present.
Mr. Simpson?
Here.
Mr. Fleming? Here. Mr. Burhans?
Here.
Ms. Lesko?
Here.
Mr. Little? Attorney Dogan?
Okay, approval of the minutes, last meeting. Okay, approval of the minutes, last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have first, second, any discussion? All in favor of passing minutes, last meeting, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, meeting passes, or minutes pass. Move on to treasurer's report. Barb, you can read that in? Thank you.
Sure. The Marina Operation Fund currently has $426,280.27. The Port Authority Fund is $121,738.98.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Move on to claims.
Motion to approve the claims.
I'll second.
All right, we have first, second.
I did have a couple quick questions. The Americo, that was for the assessment. Did we pay them some upfront?
No. This is the bill for their total services, Carl.
Okay, total bill. Okay, that's what I was thinking it was. I just want to make sure it hadn't paid in advance. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct.
Other discussion? All in favor of passing claims, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Claims passes. Let's move on to committee reports. Mr. Dogan, good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience while I was absent. And legal, I have no significant report other than I continue to work on the quiet title. It's in process. There is and that's the land that was donated, I think it was initially donated to the city, but it was deeded to us. There is a slight glitch, but it's nothing that can't be overcome. It'll just make it take longer. So, and it's not something I think that would be appropriate to be discussed in public. So I can tell you about it in a private meeting or, legal meeting that would be closed to the public, which is appropriate to do because it's legal. And it's coming along. And other than that, no other report. Thank you.
Make sure you push the mic.
Oh,
Yeah, no worries.
so sorry.
You're okay. You don't have to repeat it. Just, we had to learn all that back in January and February. No worries.
Hey, Tom, am I correct in assuming that's the property on the west side of Burns Ditch?
Yeah, that is correct. The quiet title would be, that is some of the property. There were actually some miscellaneous parcels that were surprisingly in other spots, but yes, that is some of the property.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tom. Move on to marina facility. Barb?
I'll be holding this down for a pretty long time. My report is rather long. The Marina report is dated, thank you. The Marina report is dated today, July 11th, 2024. The Marina is almost 100% full. We have 2 spots available, H20 and J04. We are now prorating slips. The season is 214 days, and we are at the halfway point of the season. Prorating cuts the slip fee in half. The Port Authority fees remain the same, 75 cents for 30 foot and under and $1.50 for 31 feet and above. June 28th, Midwestern Electric came to the Marina office and advised that they will be making repairs to the drooping conduit on the Route 12 bridge. They stated the conduit encases bridge sensors, and their plan is to rent a local barge and make the repairs. I informed them of Kurt Miller and Dave Zach owning barges. However, there is no confirmed date when these repairs will take place. The week of July 4th was busy at the marina, with Sunday, July 7th being the busiest day for launches since I've been harbor master. 233 launches total. July 4th, we served slip holders and visitors our own homemade Italian beef, chips, and potato salad. We had a good turnout and served leftovers the next day. I am in the process of switching to another credit card service per the Port Clerk Treasurer's Office. All city departments are using this service. It is utilized by nearly every municipality in Indiana and is accepted by Indiana State Board of Accounts, the SBOA. There are numerous steps when processing credit card payments, and it will be more time-consuming to process credit card payments. However, the fees are passed on directly to the customer. We incur no service fees. The minimum service fee is $1 for all transactions under $33, and all transactions above $33 are assessed a 3% fee. July 8th, the dock committee met at the marina office. The committee consists of Carl Simpson, Buddy Little, and myself. We met for nearly an hour and discussed which docks to replace and decided A through D and I through K. G and H were installed in 2009 and F installed in 2014, so a total of 7 docks. A and D are 25-foot slips installed 1996. I and J are 35-foot slips installed 1998 approximately. K is a 40-foot slip installed approximately the same time as I and J. We discussed dock options, deck material, wood or composite, faceboards, or free flow through the dock, electric supplied, or we supply components and a local contractor installs, and water, same scenario as electric. The 3 companies we will request quotes from are Flotation Docks, or FDS, the manufacturer of our original docks. The factory is located in Cedarville, Michigan. The second is Miko Sullivan, located in McAllister, Oklahoma. The third is Flotation Docks Manufacturers, located in Indianapolis, Indiana. We will require each manufacturer to provide us with quotes with the options we request: deck material options, sideboard or free flow, electric and water options, along with labor to remove and labor to install. Over the years, I have met with each representative and discussed dock replacement at our marina, so they are all familiar with our dock structure, and we have received general quotes over the past 5 years. It's time to move forward with this project. We will update the board as we move forward with the process. Before we can proceed with any request for financing, bond, et cetera, the Port Authority must create a CIP, which is Capital Improvement Plan. This plan must detail the cost of the project, operational and maintenance costs for the projects, project timeline, revenues from the project, funding sources, and project prioritization. We are having the marina garage repaired. Rotted soffit fascia and trim will be replaced as needed and covered in aluminum. The overhead door will be repaired and readjusted to close properly, and a garage door opener has been installed. We replaced 4 dry rotted tires on the marina truck after 1 tire went flat and was not repairable. Upon inspection, the other 3 were in the same condition and they were replaced. Lake and pond biologists will be treating the marina basin for submerged weed species. The program consists of 2 full marine plant surveys and 1 full marina herbicide treatment for all submerged weeds. They began the weed survey in June and will continue with the survey and treatments through August. The price we pay includes the Indiana permit through IDEM. Painting continues at the marina. It started at the north and T-wall railings, the marina office with all exterior red surfaces being painted, all railings, building pillars, and trim. The painter, Rich Lowe, is working his way south. June 20th, we found a large fuel spill floating in the marina basin. IDEM was contacted. Dan from Marina Maintenance dropped some booms in to contain the spill, and IDEM left spare booms at the site. Upon inspection, it was determined to be a fuel spill of unknown origin. Nearby boats were checked and none found to be leaking at the time of inspection. The fuel spill gradually dissipated and the used booms were disposed of properly per IDEM rules. New booms were ordered to replace all that were used. Basic repairs continue with central services: toilets repaired, dock boards replaced, electrical repairs, and the usual everyday fixes. Central services being available for repairs has been a great addition for the marina repairs. The process works well, and repairs are generally made the same day or no later than the following morning. Our part-time seasonal staff consists of 4 young adults. I must say that these 4 are the best marina employees we've ever had. They are polite, punctual, helpful, and hardworking. Slip holders also appreciate the so-called little things that they do. like dusting for spider webs, delivering ice, or just being nice. Out of the 4, 2 are in high school, 1 is starting college this fall, and the other will be a sophomore in college. And so the summer goes, submitted by Barb Lesko, Harbor Master, City of Portage, Sammy Mileta, Public Marina. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb.
You're welcome.
Question on the dock committee meeting, with our investment in the finger piers, has that been considered on the vendors we're reaching out to?
Yes. I would say the Flotation Dock Systems is probably the #1 vendor, and I do believe that they may come in with the most reasonable price, but we have to get 3 quotes.
As we've talked before, the ones that we're replacing now can be used as spares because they're not replacing all the docks at the same time.
Yeah, point being, we would not order that in our big order.
Correct.
Okay, anything else, Barb?
No,
Got to
that-
have something else on top of that.
No, I do not.
Barb, just a quick question. On the repairs you're doing on the Marina Garage, is that being done by Central Services?
No, Central Services can't do that type of work. We've hired a contractor that Central Services works with. That they do all the garage repairs, the door repairs, the trim repairs, the siding repairs, everything that the city needs. So it's a local contractor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll move on to safety.
As far as safety goes, I've gone to every branch of every part of the rivers. There are some massive trees that will break free, I imagine, as far east down as possible. Dave Zach has a massive tree that probably prevents most of the bigger boats from coming upstream. I spoke with him about it. It seems like they've just been clutching the south wall to get around it quite a bit. Over by the bridge, there was a massive, the biggest cut-up tree that looked like somebody cut and threw it in the river that Danny had removed, which was impressive. Other than that, a few on the main branch going out, I removed 3 of those myself, small to medium-sized trees. Not full trees, but large enough branches that were probably 25 feet. Outside of that, Dave Zach, I asked him about the buoys and the replacement time, and he said he'll call me when they're in. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Move on to planning and development. Matt could not be here tonight. Do have a statement that he sent me. I'm going to give an update on the fishing pier. What he states here is that Whitcraft is currently preparing for the shop drawings for the actual boardwalk and pier materials. Once finished, they will place the order for the materials and have them drop shipped at the property. Materials from Whitcraft are $211,581.56. We've received 1 quote so far, should have 1 more shortly for assembly of the structure, and it is within our grant budget. Currently, that is $148,000. If the next quoter is cheaper and meets the requirements, the actual contract will be less. He has a needs for item 1. I would like to ask the commission to approve moving forward with the contract for the lowest, most responsive quote for the labor to replace or to place the fishing pier and boardwalks in. Item 2, fish cleaning station and parking lot improvements. The construction drawings are in the final assembly. I anticipate having the bid package on the street for the bids the week of July 22nd, with bids due the 2nd week of August. We will review and have a recommendation for award at the September board meeting. That way, the fishing pier boardwalk will be complete and the two contractors will not be in each other's space. He does not have any need for us there. Number 3 item is the seawall. Due to the holidays, we moved the deadline to the quotes out to July 18th. We've been receiving lots of interest. We will have a recommendation at the August board meeting. Nothing needed there. So go back to item 1. He is asking that we approve forward with the contract for the lowest, most responsive quote for the labor to replace the fishing pier and boardwalks. We don't know that cost, obviously, but he is asking for us to just trust his receipt of bid. Any thoughts on that?
I think if we move forward with approving this, it may be to our advantage, because if we don't, we're looking at the August meeting for approval, and then September, and then possibly into October for anything to be done. Those are just my personal thoughts.
I'm not sure if I'm in a position where I can speak to it, but I mean, just as a recommendation coming from the city executive, I think that moving to get the bids and to know what the prices are is the most responsible thing that you can do. Separate from any decisions of action, I think that knowing what's there and also doing it now so you're able to get it ideally before prices go up, should they go up,
Thank you, Mary, for the input.
All right, further thoughts on this?
Some legal input, if you'd like it. I would agree with the mayor. Perhaps provisional acceptance subject to price approval, something like that.
Oh, I see. I might have misunderstood something. You guys should still, of course, be the ones that vote on the bidder, though, when they come in and those bids are open. Is that correct? Like, that would be part of it.
Yeah, he's saying he has one bid currently and waiting for one other.
Okay, but they haven't been opened yet then, because we have to wait for them to come in, right?
That's correct, Mayor.
Yeah. So they should be opened at the next meeting, like he should be there opening, or that should be done. I guess you just want to make sure that's being done correctly, the way the bids are done in the city,
Right. Exactly. So in other words, the specs are set.
I believe it's usually, well, yeah, someone should be coming up there and then they open it in front of you guys. They actually have to take like a letter opener, cut it open. I guess make sure that maybe approve that as long as legal is reviewing to make sure it's being done the correct way.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that that's how it's being done. Having been involved in a case of some notoriety involving this.
I think that's kind of my thought too, is making sure we had something happen today just for comparison, and I'm not claiming anything wrong was necessarily done, but at the storm board meeting today, we had a situation come where we were presented with 2 bids that were apparently opened by the county recycling and waste reduction board, and they put out the bids for someone to do the collection at the compost site, and we were asked to pick, which one, and under most circumstances, I would always say pick the lower one, and one was significantly lower. But what confused me and why we tabled it at that last meeting, and I say this because that meeting's not, it's not on Facebook yet, but what concerned me was that you had a county entity that did the bidding process, but then they must have opened it and then sent them to us, the storm board of a city, not the county board. And I was confused about both the legality of that, the appropriateness of that, and so we asked for that to be tabled until we could talk to someone from the county recycling board about if that was done right, So I think my big thing is how do you make sure that the bids are being handled the right way, being held in a way that they are, protected until they come to presumably the August meeting and then are unsealed there at the August meeting for you guys to open. I hope that makes sense, or I hope I'm saying it the right way.
I think you're exactly correct, and there is reason to be concerned about that.
Yeah. I'm sure that Abbott Marsh has been involved in bid processes and things like that, but it's just to say, and of course it's one thing for a private company to do bidding, but you guys as a government entity, you've got to make sure you're following the laws and our own rules about that, so. Yeah, that would be, if you feel as the attorney a need to wait on that to make sure that's done right, that might be one thing. But if you believe that what Abernmarsh is offering to do fits that, I can't speak to it. I'm not an attorney, I couldn't tell you.
No, I have no reason to believe that anything is irregular, and I think that what you suggest is fine.
Thank you, Mayor, and I agree, we should wait till the next meeting, have them open there, so that way we can have questions. As you said, we want to
Yeah.
discuss apples to apples amongst us, because
Right.
we are being charged with spending federal dollars.
Yes.
So we have to make sure we're doing it all correctly.
All right, agreed, we'll receive bids in August and review.
Sure. Do you guys need to vote on that, though, or do you need, I think usually you vote to authorize putting the bids out, or did that already happen? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so far, we've authorized for Albemarle to do the drawings and the permitting.
Oh, I see. And then the bidding came out with
and
that.
the bidding.
Gotcha.
But we have not approved any spending yet.
That's where my misunderstanding came in, and I'm glad it was helpful discussion, or it sounds like. I thought that he was asking you guys to vote to ask for the bids at this meeting, and that's where I was concerned about, wait, how is that if he's already got, now I get it, thank you.
So his needs for item number one, just, I'll read this again for everybody, is I would ask the commission to approve moving forward with the contract for the lowest responsive quote for the labor to replace the fishing pier and boardwalk. So that's what he's asking for
I
tonight.
see. I think that, with that in mind, then I think you guys want to wait till they actually come in at the August meeting, so you're comparing them there in person, and I don't think that delays anything in particular. Yeah. Just advice, sorry.
All right, agreed, we will wait till the August
Yeah.
meeting for those two bids. All right, we'll move on to old business. Anything under old business? How about new business?
I have new business for show and tell. We have these really cool T-shirts at the marina. I like big boats. It says Sammy Maletta on the back. They're $20. Medium, large, extra large, 2XL, 3XL, and 4XL. So come on down to the office and get your really cool T-shirt.
Barb, can you show it down this way too? I'd like to see that. Very nice.
This would look cute on Nancy. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Barb. Any other new business?
I have a couple things, if that's okay.
Okay,
So just to start, and unfortunately, a lot of this is a little bit, I can't say a lot, because similar to other things here, some of this might be better in either an executive session, if it's appropriate, or some things we might just need to wait to move on, but not to get anyone too excited, but starting with one, we've identified a potential source for funding for the fishing pier. I say that because when I became aware of this potential source that could be able to cover the matching portion of the grant, I quickly contacted Matt Kaiser, because my question was, with this potential source available, would that interrupt anything financially or project-wise? And his answer that he gave me was no. So we're getting a meeting scheduled as soon as possible to see if this potential source is a reality. I've also began talking with the RDC, the redevelopment director, about money was given from the RDC to this board, and if we're able to get this additional source of funding, we'd like to talk about freeing it so that the money already given, it was given with the marina in mind, or with the Port Authority in mind. So if we're able to secure it, I'd like to, of course, get us talking about taking the money that RDC gave and putting it to other use. It could be towards phase 2 of this project, or wherever it's appropriate within the Port Authority and the marina. I can't say much too yet because we're waiting for a park board meeting, but I believe I've identified our next park superintendent. I'm very excited about making that announcement, and I say that because I think the partnership between the parks and the marina has gone very well, but I think it's going to start going even better. Barb has been involved in this process a little bit, and I'm really excited to see how that comes. The property to the south of the Port Authority property, the one where I believe the title work's been going on with, RDC, I'm getting ready to sign the official paperwork soon to formally own that. We all ready? Because you put one thing on Facebook and suddenly people from Indianapolis give you a call. We do have developers already interested potentially in that site. They don't all know about the boats and all that. So before we get too excited about making money selling land together, it's probably worth noting that we got to figure out environmentally, cleanup-wise, and also there's significant thought that needs to be had between RDC and the Port Authority about what we want to do with these two properties together and find the best use for it. I just want to let you guys be aware that if you happen to know anybody who's like, oh yeah, our company's looking at that, like, please note we're not moving too fast on anything on our end, but it just shows you the excitement around this north side as it's getting attention. But to know that the former site of the Burns Harbor Fish Company is very close to being formally RDC land. And then it was brought to my attention very recently that we still have a board member missing from this board. I have someone in mind. There is some legal consideration that has to be checked first, not to make anything too mysterious, but as soon as I get some feedback from our attorney, I'll be able to announce that more properly, as long as we're good to go. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sounds exciting.
Any other new business? Public input?
Rick Miazga, 5334 Stone Avenue, Port Authority. I tried clicking in last month, but obviously we got that fixed this month. Very glad to see that. Check the budget for my vote. Next month, maybe I'll do that. I did want to ask one thing today, though. The lumber, the grade of lumber that we're using for our redecking at the marina, can you tell me what species or what grade that is?
It's southern white pine, they call it SWP.
But they had different grades of it. I don't think we're using the right materials, because it's quite spring. Oh, just press it? Okay, got you. See, all right, I knew I'd messed
Sorry,
up.
you and me both, we don't have to hold the button.
There
They
you go.
do, but we don't, sorry.
Okay,
It's the marine grade of southern white pine.
okay, but it's like a 5/4 inch deck board, and it's spanning like over 2 feet, and that's just, I mean, if you talk to your code enforcement people, that's not right. You know what I mean, so. Well, all I'm saying, if you look at it now, you can tell it's not the right material because it's already cracking. I'm not saying it's your fault. I mean, you're a make-it-work guy. And honestly, I tip my hat to you guys. You guys have been making this work because no money's flown either way from the city to you or from you to the city for the longest time, right? But now we're in year 28, 29 on 25-year-old stuff, right? So we gotta do something, right?
Something I would wonder about, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, man. Go ahead, sorry, it is your time, I apologize.
Well, I was just wanting to make sure that if we're gonna, keep putting these Band-Aids on until we can get the big enchilada, let's just make sure we're using the right stuff, because, it's already showing signs of wearing and cracking, and there's screw heads that aren't nailed down, and.
If you don't, well, I was going to say, so this is actually something on a different topic outside the Port Authority, but I've been learning a lot about wood recently because, and I'm not sure, and I think Barb can answer this question, or maybe Danny can. One of the things we're dealing with, I know that it made some news that we have a neighborhood in the city where there's a lot of resident complaints about issues with new homes that are purchased and repairs needing and all that, and we've got the developer involved in getting that fixed. One of the things I didn't realize is that since 2020, there's been changes in, I guess for lack of a better word, the wood industry. Basically, now you've got it where it used to be that the wood was dry. By the time you get it, you build the home.
Moisture content, yes.
And so it's almost reached the point now in the construction industry, at least, where, I hate to say it, but it's almost like if you're buying a new home these days, you're basically buying something with anticipated repairs being needed or issues, as they come. Is that impacting the type of wood we're using for the docks? And I say that I mean that as an innocent question, like, is that a similar thing? Maybe what you're seeing are issues with individual pieces of wood?
Well, marine grade is one thing, and I appreciate your comment on that, but it all begins with what kind of loading are we putting on there? What kind of live load are we anticipating? What kind of dead load are we anticipating? And I don't know what that marina is rated for, but I can tell you that it's not right. I mean, they're way springy, if you'll let me use that word, springy. It's not right. I mean, I said if you bring the code enforcement guy down there, he's going to look in his little chart and see what kind of, if this is Southern Yellow Pine number 2, he's going to be like, that's not right. You need to be on 16 center or 12 centers for this live load, this dead load.
Rick?
But that's the same exact thickness as the composite does on our Marine A1 frames.
I think it's worth asking the question at least, because I mean, there's already showing signs of wear, and I don't know how much that costs or how much time you put into it. We don't want to keep doing it, right? I mean,
The transient, our worst thing is the sun. So it heats up, you could put a new board brand new from Flotation Dock Systems, they have their own special lumber, some own boards, same stuff.
yeah, I mean, and it's awesome that we're getting some more money to go towards this kind of stuff. I just want to make sure we get the right stuff to hold us out for this next couple of years in transition. That was
Rick,
all I had to say.
Rick, are you talking about the docks or the walkway?
I'm talking about the new walkway at
The new
H-Dock.
walkway? Okay.
At H-Dock, yeah.
Okay.
In particular.
One and only ramp that we did in thick deck board in order to try it, to save money, but thick deck board was a heck of a lot better than any of the 2x6.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to blow you in, but you had one screw in each one of those deck boards and you walked away for the day. And they were all flopping around.
One day you go down there now, and there's
Well,
5
I know, but I mean, if you're not gonna replace the boards that day, don't take them up, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? No. Okay.
I'll hire you for
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Rick, and thanks, Barb, for your input on the wood.
You're welcome, Jeff.
I think that's all the public input we have. If that is so, we'll move for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.